How do you do, fellow kids? I have the world famous Skelegod. What a cool concept for a toy. Never really thought about it, and I'm not sure if any iterations of the He-Man. I mean, obviously, I'm mostly familiar with the Filmation, and Skeletor always wanted to get a hold of the Power Sword and take over Castle Grayskull and all that stuff. But He-Man was always able to thwart him. But kind of the idea behind a Skeletor that, like what if Skeletor got the Power Sword? What would he look like? And he would turn into this. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, he's super over the top. He-Man obviously is, crazy muscular and everything, but he doesn't turn into a god basically. But nevertheless, I do like this concept. I know there's a lot of apprehension around the Netflix series that's going to be coming out soon. A lot of people are critical of Kevin Smith for a couple of different reasons. First, they are critical because a few years ago he stated that he wasn't a big He-Man fan. And look, I don't think creators need to be a fan, but I do think that they need to concede some of the direction of the of the lore to people who do know the character. Obviously, I don't know. You look at your, you look at some of your creators in Hollywood, and obviously they're not all going to be the biggest fans of all of the properties that they're going to be they're remaking. But at the same time, I hope that he's able to do justice to He-Man, and if he's not, we'll just move on to whatever might be next. Really the only I don't know. We're getting this cool toy, some other cool toys that people are excited about. People are kind of excited about. I've seen some excitement around the new Battle Cat that's come out, and a line of articulated He-Man action figures that are in this scale. I think this is technically a 7-inch scale line, but Skelegod is larger simply because of his just the concept of him being like a supreme sort of being. So anyway, my point is that if this version of the animated series isn't the best, then we always have the Filmation series. Let's see. Let's take one of his hands off here. Yeah. Whoa. And his gauntlet comes off. Okay. And there was a movie in 1987, and that movie is fun for some schlockiness, but that didn't ruin what I liked about He-Man. It's pretty cool. Let's get some big plasma blast. It's supposed to have 30 points of articulation. Really great articulation in the legs. I could see how this might be like a real, posed in a real cool way. Although he is pretty top heavy. Let's see if I can kind of get him in more of an action stance. But yeah, cool concept. He's got the H. I think the H is cool. I mean, original recipe He-Man didn't have that H symbol simply because it was kind of too early in the lore. Well, actually, I mean, I would argue that the first He-Man, the first versions of He-Man, the toys and the comic books and everything, they didn't actually have any lore to speak of. So yeah, I mean, that H was there, I think, as early as Battle Armor He-Man. Don't know exactly what year that was, but it's probably pretty early, 83, 84. And, and that's kind of become part of the lore. That Adam has the power of He. And, I mean, there's a couple of different versions, or a couple of different ideas about who Hero is supposed to be. I think the 2000X made him kind of the origin of the power of He-Man, and then and he was, but originally he was supposed to be He-Man and Teela's son or something like that. And then I guess there's a lot of apprehension about shifting focus to the animated series from He-Man to Teela. And yeah, I think that would be a shame if they did that. I don't know. I don't think they should have any more than one episode that doesn't have He-Man as an integral part of the forward storyline. And if it's basically about a He-Man-less Eternia for most of the series, then I think that's probably a misstep. And but like I said, if they do that and it's a misstep, then hey, we have all the stuff that we still had before the animated series. Now we have Skelegod, which is pretty cool. And actually, hold on, let me grab Skeletor. Put him next to Skelegod. He stands pretty well. He's got his feet are pretty large, so they do a good job of holding up his body. He's got peg holes, so I'm going to see what this is. What is it? Ringside Collectibles. Their figure stands. Basically putting that on like 1 foot like that to see if that keeps him up. Does fit. Keeps him up. Maybe it'll keep him up a little better. Kind of putting it like that with the other foot down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's pretty good. And then as far as a size comparison, he is much larger than this the Skeletor. This is kind of how I've modified my Skeletor with a lot of the parts from the Rise of Evil 2-pack. The body is basically the normal Skeletor. I couldn't have him with the Keldor arms, the normal human arms, and the normal human feet. So I basically took Keldor's accessories and gave them to Skeletor, and then used this like ruby-eyed head, which I think is pretty cool. Funny that this head, that Skelegod's head is smaller, but I think that's mostly to sell the effect that he is like oversized. So anyway, cool action figure. I really like it. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to go all in on this line. I might pick and choose, but I did want to get Skelegod because I don't know if they're going to make a Skelegod in the Origins line. I don't know what the future is for the Origins line. But I liked it, and I thought I'd pick it up and add it to my action figure shelf.